Pineh Hill was the kind of place where doors stayed unlocked, kids played freely on manicured lawns, and secrets were supposed to stay buried. But when Jennifer Johnson was found brutally murdered in her bedroom, everything changed. What began as a daring arrangement between two suburban couples spiraled into an obsession, a betrayal, and a violent end no one saw coming. This is not just a story about love and lust. It's a story about how control masquerades as charm, and how even in the most beautiful neighborhoods, darkness lives next door. Welcome to Pineh Hill, a quiet, picturesque town with tree-lined streets and well-kept secrets. In this true crime story, we explore the tragic downfall of Jennifer Johnson, a woman caught between trust and terror, friendship and fear, and the shocking betrayal that came not from a stranger, but from someone she once welcomed into her home. This is Obsession in Pineh Hill. Daniel and Linda Garner had what many envied: a beautiful home, a successful career in architecture, and a marriage built on years of commitment. Linda, a beloved third-grade teacher, was seen as the heart of the neighborhood. Just down the block lived Mark and Jennifer Johnson. Mark, a thriving financial advisor, and Jennifer, charismatic and stunning, were the Garners' closest friends. Together, they shared dinners, vacations, and eventually, something darker. It started as a suggestion over wine, an experiment to add excitement to their marriages. Consensual partner swapping. They agreed, with rules and boundaries. At first, it worked. The couples were energized, closer even. But what none of them saw was that Daniel was falling in love. Not with his wife, but with Jennifer. At first, it was subtle. Daniel lingered near Jennifer, found excuses to be alone with her, volunteered to help her with things Mark normally handled. Linda noticed. So did Jennifer. Jennifer tried to dismiss it. Daniel was just a little too attentive. But soon, his messages became more frequent, his touches more intimate. When Jennifer finally told Daniel it had to stop, that the arrangement was over, something snapped in him. What had been masked as affection began to fester into obsession. One weekend, during a cabin trip meant for relaxation, Daniel cornered Jennifer by the fire and said the words that chilled her. "We could leave all of this behind, just you and me." Jennifer recoiled. Linda overheard. The foundation cracked. Jennifer ended everything. No more meetings. No more secrets. But it was too late. Daniel didn't take the rejection well. He showed up at Jennifer's work, uninvited. Waited outside her home. One night, he appeared on her doorstep. Mark was away. Jennifer let him in, hoping to de-escalate. Instead, he confessed his love. Again. She was clear. "This was never real, Daniel. This is over." He left, but he was unraveling. Jennifer confided in Linda, not knowing the woman she trusted was already part of the cover-up. Linda promised to speak to him, but in secret. She was more concerned with keeping their secret life hidden. Then came the breaking point. Jennifer, terrified and desperate, agreed to meet Daniel one last time, in a secluded park. Unbeknownst to them, Linda followed. She watched as Jennifer begged Daniel to leave her alone. Daniel's words turned from desperate to cruel. But before anything could happen, Linda stepped out of the shadows. Jennifer walked away. But the damage was done. Jennifer tried to move on. But Daniel couldn't let go. One cold night, he broke into the Johnsons' home. Mark was out of town. Jennifer was asleep. Daniel stood over her, knife in hand, whispering twisted justifications. She woke up, but she never stood a chance. Daniel stabbed her in the chest, silencing her forever. He fled to Linda, covered in blood, panicked, and Linda helped him. She destroyed evidence, burned clothes, faked alibis, cleaned every surface. Together, they pretended nothing happened. But guilt doesn't burn away that easily. Detective Rachel Mitchell wasn't buying the perfect couple act. Neighbors began to whisper. Daniel was drinking heavily. Linda was constantly on edge. Then came the crack. A neighbor saw Daniel's car outside Jennifer's house the night she was killed. And phone records? Dozens of obsessive texts from Daniel to Jennifer. Police obtained a warrant. In the Garners' home, they found what Linda thought she'd erased: bloodstains under the floorboards. Daniel was arrested. In custody, under pressure. He confessed to everything. And he named Linda, too. Linda was brought in. She denied it at first. But the truth caught up. She admitted to the cover-up, claimed she was scared, claimed she did it for love. The trial was swift and shocking. Daniel Garner was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Linda, charged with accessory and obstruction, was given 15 years. Mark Johnson was left to bury his wife and the betrayal of those he called friends. The story of Pineh Hill is a chilling reminder. Even behind the brightest smiles, the darkest obsessions can take root. And sometimes, what you think is just a thrill becomes a tragedy that can never be undone.